Hello, this is Dr. Malescu, and I'm just here in the lab and wanted to show you some of my lab models for the male and female reproductive system for my Anatomy and Physiology 2 students. So this is the lab model that I have. I have one for the male, one for the female, and then of course I've got a uterus here. So let's go over first structure that we can see is the male reproductive system. And I'm going to use my pointer to show where everything is. So we're going to start from here. As you can see, this is the glans penis, the head of the penis. The urethra, follow the urethra. It's longer in the male versus the female. That's why the female is more susceptible to urinary tract infections. All right, now surrounding the urethra, as you can see, this tissue right in here surrounding the urethra is called the corpus spongiosum. Corpus spongiosum. But then we have a very, very different type of tissue, and it's more dorsal, and so that's called the corpus cavernosum. All right, so corpus spongiosum is going to surround the urethra, and then corpus cavernosum is dorsal to it. All right, so that is one of the structures. Now follow where the urethra goes, and you can see this little tube that leads to the bulbourethral gland. So you're supposed to be able to identify the bulbourethral gland. Okay, and here you can see the prostate gland. All right. So there's your prostate gland. It sits inferior to the urinary bladder. So this over here is the prostate gland. Now watch how you've got these tubules coming in. So you've got, this is coming in from the bladder, right? Leads to the urethra. But then this tubule here, that's called the prostate, and the prostate surrounding the ejaculatory duct. Okay, so this is the mode through which urine comes out and goes out the urethra. But then when semen is going to come out of the epididymis, where the sperm is maturing, as you know, it's going to go up the vas deferens and come back around, and then it's going to pass by the seminal vesicle. You're going to see also seminal gland. So that term is used interchangeably. All right, seminal vesicle. And then right here, very important to know, is the ejaculatory duct. Okay, so the semen, most of it is coming from the seminal vesicle. And it's going to combine with the sperm that's coming from the epididymis. That's where the mature sperm is. And it comes up the vas deferens, wraps up behind that ureter, and comes back around. The sperm is going to receive some semen from the seminal vesicle. Then it's going to receive some fluid from the prostate gland. And then as it goes down into this area of the urethra, okay, the bulbourethral gland is going to provide the mucus to make this semen more mucousy, and basically continuously provide a kind of like a house and protection for the sperm as it moves through the acidic environment of the vaginal canal. So that's why we have the bulbourethral gland providing the mucousy texture to the semen. All right, so basically then the semen comes out, and there you have it. Other structures that you should know here, make sure you know that the cremaster muscle is this muscle that surrounds the testes, and you can see it here in this like dark red. And so that's the cremaster muscle, and it's going to lift the scrotum up when it's cold and bring the testicle closer to the body. Now seen here in blue are the septae, and seen here in the dark blue, that's the rete testes. And don't forget that you've got the interstitial area, and this is where basically all the spermatogenesis is occurring, meiosis 1, meiosis 2, and when the sperm mature, they're going to mature in the epididymis, which is right here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Don't forget where all these structures are. So let's move now to the female. And I'm going to move the camera over. And so let's identify, shall we? So what we see, first off, is the anus and the rectum, most posterior. And that's over here. So notice that's the rectum, most posterior. So if you go anterior, this is the vaginal canal. Okay, so vaginal canal. And as you know, all the way back here, it reaches all the way back here. Now over here is the cervix. So let me bring that a little bit closer. There's the cervix, fornix area, uterus. Okay, here's your bladder. So your bladder and the urethra, much shorter in the female. It is anterior to the vaginal canal. Okay, labia majora, labia minora cannot be seen here, but know that it's there. And seen here in a little bit of green color here, that's the clitoris. So that is the erectile tissue. That's the equivalent of the glans penis in the male. All right, so the most anterior is the clitoris, and basically it also is the area that has a lot of nerve endings, and is also an area that has tissue that is going to have infoldings, just like it's called in the male the prepuce, which gets circumcised in the male. The female has prepuce as well, and it surrounds the clitoris. Okay, posterior to that is the urethra, and this is your bladder. Posterior to that is the vaginal canal. Cervix right there, this is the uterus. It's U-shaped. You can have anteverted, vertical, and retroverted kind of position of the uterus. Now let's turn this around, and you can see the fimbriae here, the finger-like projections, that when ovulation takes place and the egg, the ovum, gets extruded from the ovary, the fimbriae can pick it up, and then it's moving, it's traveling, and stays here on day 14, stays here a number of days. And so if the sperm is coming up all the way, it has to reach all the way here, and this is where fertilization takes place. Once an egg is fertilized by the sperm, the ovum is fertilized by the sperm, it travels, and implantation for the pregnancy has to occur along the endometrium. This is the innermost layer, and then the myometrium is the muscular layer. Okay, and that's pretty much everything that you need to know in the male and the female. Now last but not least, I want to show you the uterus, and this is pretty interesting because this is actually in a jar. It looks like it fell, but anyway, interesting. You can see the ovary here, ovary there, and this is the actual uterus. It really kind of looks like a chicken, but anyway, I just thought I'd show you what it looks like. Pretty amazing. All right, so that's pretty much my review in the lab. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Take care. Bye.